say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, being none, agenda is approved. Are there any community announcements?
We'll have the Memorial or Veterans Day celebration on the 10th instead of the 11th, because I think you guys got something working here on the 11th, and the 10th is also the 162nd anniversary of the Marine Corps or something like that, and this is the 100th anniversary of the end of World War I, so that'll be here at the airport.
Thank you very much.
11 o'clock, and it's also my wife's birthday.
Thank you for that announcement. Happy birthday to your wife. And now we move to item 3, consent agenda. This is non-controversial. Are there any comments on the consent agenda from the public? Being none, I will entertain a motion. Motion by Mr. Valentine, second by Mr. Deaver. Any further discussion? Being none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Being none, motion passes unanimously.
Oh.
Okay. All right. That moves us to item 4A, staff report, please.
Good afternoon. I'm actually going to turn this over to Carrie for both of the insurance policies.
Good afternoon. The first one is the boiler and machinery renewal. This primarily covers our pump house and different machinery around the airport. The policy is pretty minimal. At this time, staff recommends to stay with Sean Moses and Mendenhall on this policy.
All right. Any questions from the board? Any public comment? With that, Chair will entertain a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Parker, second by Mr. Deaver. No further discussion then. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Be none. Motion passes unanimously. We move to item 4B, staff report.
This is for our railroad policy that is expiring October 17th. Once again, we did get the quotes from Sean Moses and Mendenhall and Absurance. We have not received the quote back from Sean Moses and Mendenhall, but their thoughts was it was going to stay within the lines of last year, which was at $24,000, with Absurance being $18,000. So staff recommends to have the railroad policy through Absurance.
Any questions from the public? Any comment from the public? Any questions from the board? I have one question. Why have we not received the quote from Sean Moses? Is it they do not intend to quote, or they have not?
They have not. They are working on it. They came back with additional questions on Friday and then again as of yesterday. So we've been supplying them answers. And then now that they have identified that we maintain the track, they're feeling that they may need to go in a different direction on their quote.
A different direction is what?
Different type of policy. Absurance had quoted it, just to kind of fill in the gaps. They had filled it as a general liability with railroad.
I'm a bit hesitant to go forward with a quote from one when we know one is pending, and we still have time to make a decision and adopt the policy prior to the policy lapsing.
I don't think we'll have another board meeting though.
We have one on the 16th.
We have one on the 16th, yes.
Their hopes were to get it to us by this afternoon.
Okay.
We did not get it, but
It's a recommendation from the chair that we table this item until we receive such quote, but I'll entertain the thoughts of the board. Any public comment on this? Did I already ask for that?
I'll make the motion.
Motion to approve?
Or second yours.
Motion to set up, table it. So a motion to table it, second by Mr. Deaver. All in favor to table this item, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, be none. That motion passes unanimously. Thank you, gentlemen. We move to financial reports. I'm moving very fast today.
these are the financial reports for month ending August 31st. The bank balance decreased $25,000 for this month. You'll see fuel sales. We've been really busy with F-18s. August was just under 100,000 gallons. So in September's looking to be a bit more than that. We did receive a payment from Maston for $64,000. So that has cleared them up off the 90 days.
That's very good. Thank you. Any questions from the board?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, sir.
Can we, Jason, can we fix that? I hate that.
He's getting
I
busy
like,
with
I
that.
like everything to just be so I can go down instead of,
I bet you can fix it right now, this very second.
can it? Well,
We'll take a look at it.
Okay.
well, I just like it in that form.
No, I agree.
I agree. I agree.
There's got to be a way to do that.
Mine has a little rotation.
Yeah, just make it so you can't rotate it. It won't rotate. You'll lock
Well, I don't
Yeah,
know.
that can create another problem.
Okay.
And I have to go like this.
Mine has just.
Did you get a picture of that, sir?
Got it.
Okay, thank you.
Front page.
And a little bit of
See,
this.
that's what happens. Fancy stuff, see? You gotta know.
So let's move forward. Any other questions regarding financial reports? If not, we'll move to item 5B, CEO report.
All right, not a lot to report on other than what's listed here. Still doing a lot of travel at 3 separate trips in September. We just have one in October coming up, so October will be a good month to just stay put and catch up on some things here. We have had one new hire since we last met. Darius just joined us as our maintenance supervisor. It's fully here. No. And then we've got 2 new maintenance employees that we've extended offers to as well. So, as far as our team goes, this was one of the positions that we requested for this year's budget, as maintenance supervisor.
I have a comment. If you could you make some comments, some more specific comments as to your DC trip and the FAA rulemaking efforts?
Sure.
So that the public and the
Let me
press,
ask a
so that the
question
public and the
first,
press can know. Go ahead,
It
sir.
lead into what you're
Yes.
gonna ask.
Sure.
Is everybody here familiar with what AST is,
Yeah.
Terry?
No.
Why don't you give an overview of that body and kind of what it is, because that ties into where you, part of what you've been doing.
Right. So there are various divisions within the FAA. AST is the Office of Commercial Space Transportation, even though it starts with an A, there's actually Office of Commercial Space Transportation. So they're one of the regulators out here. So when it comes to who we answer to from a regulatory perspective, it's airports under FAA and AST, because we're an airport and a spaceport. Our customers will have to answer to various divisions of FAA, including like aviation safety, for instance, and especially on new airplanes, and this is where Rick has a lot of great relationships within the FAA. Our commercial space companies have to also answer to AST from a regulatory perspective. So there are there were 3 rulemaking committees established under FAA this year. One of them is to streamline the space regulations, and we're participating in all 3 of them, by the way. One of them is called airspace access or airspace prioritization. Basically, how are we going to integrate commercial space vehicles into the national airspace system? And then the third one is spaceport categorization, and I'm a co-chair for that one, for the spaceport categorization. So it's helping to provide recommendations from an industry perspective back to the FAA to set up some additional regulations that are going to hopefully be beneficial to the industry, to both industries, aviation and space. And that's what we've been spending a lot of our time on with these rulemaking committees.
Is there something like this for unpowered aerial vehicles?
There is. So there's another UAV rulemaking committee going on about simultaneously with the airspace access one.
Are we following that?
We're not involved in
We
that
do it
one.
occasionally. You guys have done it.
We're not involved with that specific rulemaking committee. We've gotten involved in other conversations at the FAA on UAVs, but not this particular effort.
Thank you for that. I just think it's important that we let the public know the extent to which Mojave Air and Spaceport is involved in these things, and to the extent that we are looked to be involved and to help in the process. As an example, we had the opportunity to attend this Society of Experimental Test Pilots annual symposium, and they played several videos of different companies and different organizations that were conducting testing, and I'm venturing to guess that at least half of it was being conducted here at Mojave. So we are expected by the FAA and to other people in the industry to be a leader, and that is why we are involved in these things. And the reason that Karina is directly involved, and it's why they're so important. So I just wanted to clarify that. Thank you very
I
much.
agree with that. And another note is, as far as I know, we're the only airport/spaceport that's involved in all 3 of these conversations. So the industry really is looking to Mojave to get a lot of this figured out.
We kind of invented it.
Right.
We kind of did. All right. With that, we have no board committees. Are there any direct comments? I've made mine. If there are no direct comments, are there any public comments? Last chance. Being none, we move to closed session. Thank you for your attendance.